It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports.
And the question is, are you ready for some football?
It's the Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Chargers, and it's coming right up on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Today we've got a fun AFC matchup on tap, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the LA Chargers. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Well, Charles, September is here. The 2023 season just about to get started. So many storylines to pay attention to. What are you most keeping an eye on as the start of the season moves closer?
Well, partner, I'm glad you asked because we're going to start, obviously, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. That's a huge story. How about Kansas City? Could they win their third title in 5 years? We know some teams are trying to get there. Buffalo, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, San Francisco, all should contend. And how about some of those sleeper teams? I think the Chargers of Pittsburgh in the AFC, Carolina, Detroit in the NFC, it's going to be an exciting season.
Now the kicker, that's Cameron Dicker, set to get us started. And we are underway in Southern California. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now Tua Tagovailoa gets set to lead this Dolphins offense for the first time.
Injuries overshadowed a great season from Tua last season. He led a Miami passing game that was one of the best in the league, and even more importantly, took them to the postseason for the first time in 6 years. That jump they were looking for from him, it absolutely occurred.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now their 31-year-old running back, Raheem Mostert. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
2nd down, here's Mostert again. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. We're scoreless after 1. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. And this one too low.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That ball caught, it's chosen. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the gun, a run with Mostert. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front?
leverage, athleticism. They created some nice space for him.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Looking to pass. Tua. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill on the touchdown pass from Tua. And the Dolphins will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slant.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So the Charger offense making its way out, and at the controls is the league's second leading passer a year ago. At 25 years of age out of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
The Chargers just continue to improve and take steps forward under the quiet leadership of Herbert, who's been the most productive quarterback in league history through his first 3 seasons. Over 4,700 yards last year. He's expecting to crack the 5,000-yard mark in this season.
Just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10. In motion right, one of the tight ends. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios and this EA Sports halftime report. This has been a hard-fought battle thus far. Just the one touchdown to this point is still anybody's game at 7-0, as both of these defenses have been out there trying to one-up one another.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Just the one touchdown in that first half. 7-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come, their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, this defense certainly knows they're going to have their hands full trying to slow down this passing game. Here's an example on the very first play from scrimmage. I think we'll see some different looks, maybe some pressure from different places, but it didn't work there, and it's a quick first down.
Herbert on first down now. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here comes second down at 5. Herbert to throw. A little short pass. This is Everett. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. But just a gigantic play here, both sides. This is 3rd and inches. Herbert. And that is incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they get 4 there on 4th and inches. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10. Throwing, Herbert. He's got Eckler, and he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. It may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
2nd and 6 coming up. Now Herbert. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 40. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Remember, the 1 timeout still available as they come up 1st and 10. Now Herbert. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Herbert going to throw. That's going to be complete to his tight end Everett. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. Here's 1st and 10. Herbert. And that is incomplete. And now time for one final play that has to be obviously in the end zone.
Can't wait to see what they call, but you want to get it to your best player. Sometimes you have to do it by formation. Move everyone to one side, and maybe he gets a one-on-one isolated on the backside.
Here's 2nd down. One last throw here for Herbert. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense, obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
But you know what they say? It's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket. And that's what they've got going forward.